This is Christina Leone. I teach math of all different levels here at the Fairbanks Center. I'm just going to demonstrate a couple different activities I use for some of my classrooms. These specifically are for Math 0306, which is a pre-algebra class, just kind of getting their basics down for math. These activities can be used for any subject. They work well for math or science or any time you need the students just to practice whatever skill you're trying to teach them. So the first one here, I have two different versions of it. The larger version is for putting these all over the classroom. It's called a circuit or a spider web or a scavenger hunt. It has a lot of different names. The way it works is each card has two sides to it. The bottom is a problem for the students to work, and the top is an answer from a problem somewhere else. So you do about 10 or 12 of these, however many you want to do and however much time you might have to do these. You write the problem at the bottom, and you put the answer to that problem at the top of a different card. Then you put a different problem and a different answer, that problem's answer on a different card. And you continue to do this. It's pretty easy to create in Microsoft Word. It could be a word problem, a question, whatever it might be, with some sort of short answer, one word or phrase answer. And you just put a problem and an answer, the next problem and the next answer. You can adapt this from any kind of worksheet or textbook work. You mix these all up, and you tape them around the room. And then the student can start wherever they want to. I usually make a recording sheet for them with the original problem, workspace, and their answer. They can do it on notebook paper as well, as long as they have somewhere to record. So these are spread all around the room. The student can start on any problem, work it out on their paper, or think about the question. Then they look around the room and they try to find the answer on a different card. And so once they find their answer, then they work the next problem that's below on that same card. And then they just keep going. If they don't find their answer, that means that they did it wrong. And the idea is they work every problem with its answer. And at the end of it, the last problem they work, wherever they end up, the last problem they work should take them back to the first card they started at. And so it's called a web or a circuit because you finish where you start. And it helps the students to check themselves. They can work in partners or work individually. They can spread out around the room. It gets them out of their seat. It gets them moving around. You see the letters in the corner. Sometimes I will do that to keep up with where they are. And it helps me know. It's usually a word spelled backwards or a phrase spelled backwards. They don't really know what the letter's for, but when they write their letter on their recording sheet, if I leave a space for them to write their letter, I can quickly check to make sure they did all their work correctly. So the letters you don't need, but it kind of helps for reference. So this is when they can move around the room and kind of get out of their chairs. They tend to interact a lot more. They tend to partner up and help each other through the problems. Sometimes I also make a smaller version of that, and I call these dominoes. And it's the same idea. It has a problem on the bottom and an answer at the top of another card. But these they can work at their tables. You can adapt this for a crowded classroom or students who might not need to be able to move around. And so again, they work the problem and they find their answer on a different card. And they match them like dominoes. The bottom of one matches with the top of the next one. And then they work the next problem and it matches up. And again, the last card they work, wherever they end up, should be their first answer. And it works really well. Again, they can work with the people sitting next to them. They tend to collaborate more and get a little bit more out of it. And all it is a bank of problems that have been redesigned to make it a little bit more user-friendly for the students. So that's called a circuit or dominoes. And again, it has a variety of names.